Ready, folks? Let's take a look and see what's happening. We found the code in the matrix. Just kidding, of course. Let's take a look. GameStop hanging out right now at 29.09. And it looks like it's moving on upwards again. Had multiple stops today on its way there. Stops on the way down, I should say. It was halted on the way up. It wasn't halted on the way down. When I said stop, I don't mean like a physical stop to trading. But here's the GME chart. Currently at 28.92, 28.84. And of course, I put out a YouTube video. Everyone out there is putting out tweets and YouTube videos about AMC and GameStop right now. The high-frequency trading algorithms programmed by the quants at firms that are high-frequency trading, of course, are going to want to short the price to prevent retail from buying in. But as you can see, GameStop's volume, this isn't pre-market or anything that you're seeing here. This is during actual market hours. Hey, Pulsar, welcome, my friend. I'm not showing that this stream is actually working. So I'm going to get confirmation from you guys before I proceed. And for some reason, it's in members only mode, even though I specifically put it into public live chat mode, which makes no sense why the stock would, not the stock, excuse me, no sense why YouTube would do that. Let me see if I can change it while on the fly. Yeah, there we go. All right, folks. I went ahead and changed that so you guys can jump in on the chat. Cheers. There we go. And I'll adjust my screen too so you guys can see better. There we go. I'm just going to leave it right there. You know, I can maximize the usage of this a little bit better than that. Just to give you guys a better idea of what's happening on the chart, to zoom in for you a little bit. What's going on, Giles, Mama Bear, Bricks, Lady Kim, Tony? Welcome back, my friends. Who will force this account? Cheers to you, buddy. Thanks for joining us. And thanks for becoming a member of the channel. We're taking a look at it here. GameStop, 28.92, and the volume is absolutely off the chain. This previously, let me zoom over here, and you can see this. The volume, that's a greatly, greatly zoomed in photo, or should I say, stream of the chart, around 26 bucks a share, right before everything started moving on upwards for GameStop, right before the Roaring Kitty tweet. And you can see the moment that I bring this onto the screen here, it crushes the rest of the chart in the terms of the volatility that it's showing. Makes it significantly smaller, because we went from having a volume bar that I can't even, 16,000 volume to 1.5 million volume in a heartbeat. See, 16,329 for the minute candle there. And then immediately the moment that Roaring Kitty tweeted, we have a volume candle of 1.5 million, 300,000, 1.24 million, 1.25 million, 800,000, 560K, 1.24 million, and still going in the hundreds of thousands at this very moment for every candle. And I think little by little more people are finding out about it, because it starts to taper out and then increases again. Starts to taper out, increases again, back to 600,000. And so a lot of these orders, and let's bring it all the way right now to the real time, right there, 28.90. And I'm going to say this because you guys know how it goes. GameStop stock is going down. AMC stock is going down. And I'm selling all my shares right away. I'm closing out my position. So, you guys do what you want, but I'm out, right? I've sold. And we're talking specifically to the ALGO. AMC hanging out strong at 520 right now. And did the very same thing, did the exact same move as the movement that we saw with AMC. With GameStop. We're looking at that happen here in AMC. Here we were on very, very minimal volume for today. And then, of course, at that very same moment, we went from 7,800 volume to 1,346,000 volume, 949,000 volume, 900,000, 635,000, 861,000, 1.2 million, et cetera, et cetera. And that's continued onwards here for AMC and GameStop. Bro Gabe says I'm such a degen. I bought $6 calls for tomorrow. Queen Bee, don't worry. I'm not going to expect you guys to do opposite day. I just wanted to say it just to see what happens. Because you know how it's fun. We're not going to do opposite day today. Let me scoot this over for a moment here, you guys. I know. We've had a lot of fun with opposite day in the past. But here's the post, in case you haven't seen it yet. It was Roaring Kitty posting Time Magazine shot right there. Scroll down so you can get a good post at it. Good look at the post. That's a Time Magazine cover. This was the cover. Somebody from the Discord just pulled this out. People were wondering, where is this from? And a lot of people are speculating like, oh, it's time for high volume and such. And, of course, my T's are jacked, as they say. Look, of course, Greg, of all people, the #1 regard on X, even posted time for high volume. And I was thinking that as well when I saw the high volume, but I didn't even correlate the word with time and then the number 4 and then the high volume. And of course it's 109, which could equal 60. If it translated from a minute 9, would it be 69 seconds? And then 420, obviously a lot of people's favorite number, 69, 420. Then that could translate to, time for high volume or, 6920 period. Just time for high volume in general. But it looks like it's at the beginning. You see this bar? This is like the play button is right there, and it's just getting started. Obviously, the video is only a minute 9 into the 4 minute and 20 seconds there. Doug says my pants had a minor insurrection for a moment there. I'm not surprised, my friend. I'm not surprised. But we'll go back into this here as well. Just wanted to show you guys a more zoomed out view of the chart for your reference. AMC stock and, of course, GameStop. The reason I show them both is because they've both been held in meme stock baskets, ETF baskets, exchange-traded products. There are massive amounts of swaps and short positions held against both stocks. And the short interest is hidden in those ETFs and the meme stock baskets and the swap derivatives. Because ISDA swaps do not reflect short interest on the stocks themselves. So you will not see GameStop or AMC's short interest go up because the swaps out there are basically traded OTC. And not basically, literally. And OTC stands for over the counter. That means that the trade for this swap derivative, this toxic derivative, goes from, for example, Archegos to the other party. And, of course, you guys saw that Archegos has defaulted, and now all of their GameStop and AMC swaps went on to destroy Credit Suisse, their prime brokerage. Then, of course, Credit Suisse defaulted, and they were destroyed, and now UBS is left holding that bag of toxic derivatives. So, yeah, we've got a nice pullback here on GameStop, back up to 28.94 at the moment. Not surprised in the slightest. That is to be expected. At a time like this. That's all right. I don't feel like drawing on my chart anyway, even though it's not letting me for whatever reason, but that doesn't really matter to me. I can see what's happening here pretty clearly. Look at that. There we go. Not saying that's a support level, just saying that the line was actually able to post pretty nicely. But if we go here to the bottom that they brought it to, and we go here and use this, the lowest it was able to reach in the last 10 minutes, we've got a possible support level there at the 28.88 mark for GameStop. A possible support level. It may have taken a GameStop and AMC up to the next channel. That's a very good possibility. But currently it seems to be using that as a support pretty strongly. It did so immediately after the run, the movement upwards, and it appears to be doing it right now again. Naturally, the HFT algos are going to try to break that level, but we're looking at something fairly similar here with AMC stock. Let me get another line here. Let's go to the bottom scene about 5 to 10 minutes after the initial run. And we are looking at the possibility of this movement here also being in a higher channel for AMC now, over $5.20. Now, I will say, if retail keeps up the buying of options contracts, then there's a good possibility that these stay above the $28 and $5 mark. If retail does not continue to buy options contracts, long calls, then there's a possibility that GameStop will break under $28 and AMC will break under $5. The reason being because of the number of contracts that are in the money at those levels. Argos reads, stay calm and use this time to accumulate more shares. Contract is going to sell covered calls of them for inflated prices. Oh, good luck to you, my friend. Enjoy. All right, let's see. So, anybody who wants to sell covered calls is, of course, welcome to do that. And a lot of people make money off of covered calls until they get margin called or their calls get exercised by the person that bought them. That is all part of the game, my friend. Let's see here. Got a new chat box. Let me adjust this a little bit. Can you guys read that chat box okay on the screen? Let me know how it's looking for you all over there. I want to make sure I give you guys a decent quality stream. But yeah, oh, let's talk about the kitty post. Somebody in the channel on the Discord here actually posted some really good information. Look at here, Mick AMC. Not sure where he found this, but huge score. If he pulled it up himself, that's great news. It's Time Magazine's 2006 Person of the Year is you. Let's see. And this was an article, or should I say a magazine cover for Time Magazine for 2006. And the annual feature has magazine on the glossy front page of an Apple iMac styled computer keyboard and monitor with a reflective monitor surface that reflects you as the most influential person of the year for community and collaboration on a scale never seen before. That is special. That is special. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate the heads up, my friend. Think about what that says. So the Time Magazine Person of the Year is you, and it commemorates community and collaboration on a scale never seen before, for seizing the reins of global media, for founding and framing the new digital democracy, for working for nothing, and beating the pros at their own game. Wow. That's pretty cool. Make of it what you will, but I think any of you that are holders of GameStop and AMC and other heavily shorted equities understand exactly what this means. Hollywood 007, cheers to you, my friend. Not much, just checking out some of this tinfoil hat, but I can definitely get behind what they're saying here. Mick AMC, good post. He definitely does bring it together, Michael. Let's see. Good luck to everybody in California right now. I know that there was an earthquake, and there is a lot of people being evacuated at the moment in Cali. Questions about AMC stock. I'm getting a lot of questions about it. Right now that we're talking about it, we're on a live stream. Other people are posting about AMC and GameStop right now. I expect both of them to go down in price before they go up in price. That is what the algorithms are definitely going to try to people get to think, that everything is over, that everything is calmed down, that the stocks are going to go back to, their lower prices. And I think that they may go down to that moment for a while, but AMC's volume is already 43.3 million. After they reach a certain level, the stocks will continue to go back up, in my opinion, unless the volume completely dies off. If the volume completely dies off, then, they could continue to settle down. But GameStop's volume is 36.7 million. AMC's volume is 43.33 million. Both of them are looking really strong at the moment. Look at what happens when you zoom out, though. When you zoom out, there's kind of a noticeable pattern there. And every time that the volume here increases, look, AMC here on my screen, you see the volume increase, price starts to go up again, then starts to chill out. Volume increases here, price starts to go up again, and then starts to chill out. And now what are we looking at right here? Of course, because it's the most recent and the biggest, we have the volume increasing and the price going up, and now, starting to chill out a bit and kind of try to find its legs. So as a matter of fact, we can zoom out way back here and draw another line and get an idea of what we could potentially be looking at. Click the wrong one. Let's go way back out here to the bottom and look at what happens. If I line it up here with these two in the past that occurred this morning, they actually form a support level for what's happening right now. And even a new channel. Look at that. You can actually see the channel. So you guys saw me. I just drew this red line. There it is. To draw support levels between 10:45, 11, and 11:15. And then zooming over here further to the current moments, or should I say till about 1 hour ago, it gives it a support level around 1:30, 1:35, and then currently right now at 2:30, 2:40, 2:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. Where in Cali, my friend? Let me take a look here. I just saw it. Was it San Bernardino? I don't know if I saw that correctly, but I thought I did. City of Berkeley. My apologies. West Berkeley, California. There is evacuation orders due to a possible incoming tsunami. So good luck, my friends. I hope everyone's good. Let's take a look at this. Roaring Kitty came back today after not tweeting for months. Someone loaded GameStop $35 calls expiring tomorrow, which is 29% out of the money in 1 day. Tweet comes, the contracts unload at 60 cents minutes later, turning $25,000 into nearly $300,000. So somebody invested $25,000 into $35 call contracts expiring tomorrow for GameStop. And after the tweet, the contracts were sold at 60 cents just a few minutes later, turning that $25K into nearly $300,000. Could it have been a market maker? Absolutely. Could it have been a high-frequency trader? Of course. Could it have been a retail investor? Possibly. So that was pretty sweet right there, I've got to say. So somebody took profits on their move for calls expiring tomorrow with 25K. Do I think it's Roaring Kitty? Probably not. I believe this is probably some sort of market maker or high-frequency trader, that high-frequency algorithm that saw what was happening with GameStop, bought these calls immediately as soon as there was a Roaring Kitty post, and then was able to unload them with the quickness. I don't believe that was a Roaring Kitty, personally. But, of course, it could have been. We do need to talk about AMC, though, because some people keep wondering and asking me about this level, you guys, about 566, right? And we need to set something straight, everybody. If you're an AMC stock investor, you need to pay attention carefully. Now, I'm going to read to you something and explain what's going on at $5.66. It is not like some of you people think, and I mean that in a good way. I just want to explain it. At any time prior to the close of business on the second trading day immediately preceding the final maturity date of the exchangeable notes, MovieCo will also have the right to redeem all, but not less than all, of the outstanding exchangeable notes at a price equal to the aggregate principal amount of the exchangeable notes, plus accrued and unpaid interest thereon, to, but excluding the date of such redemption if the daily VWAP, as defined in the exchangeable notes indenture per shares of common stock, exceeds 140% of the exchange price for 15 consecutive days, ending on end trading day immediately before the date on which MovieCo sent a notice to holders, call it blah, 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 blah. What it's saying here, for those of you that don't understand all this legalese and bullshit here, that the exchange rate is initially set at 176.6379 shares of common stock per $1,000 principal amount of the exchangeable notes exchange, which reflects at a price of $5.66 per share of common stock, which price is equal to 130% of the closing that it was on July 19th of 24. This means that MovieCo has the option to exchange all of the convertible notes that they have for AMC for $5.66. That doesn't mean that they have to. That doesn't mean that it will happen automatically without MovieCo's choice. What it means is that when MovieCo says, okay, we're looking at column A here, and we're going to make X amount of money on interest if we let AMC pay all the way through maturity of our notes. And I'm looking at column B here that says, okay, I'm looking at how much we're going to make based on the current stock price if we exercise these convertible notes for $5.66 each, and we're going to make Y in profits. When the Y exceeds the X, MovieCo is likely to actually exchange those convertible notes for stock and then sell them off or hold them. I believe they would probably wait until the price goes high enough on AMC to make all of the money they were going to make in interest and then a good percentage on top of that. So MovieCo does not have to automatically accept AMC shares in exchange for clearing the debt of $450 million or so, which is almost $500 million, the moment that AMC stock gets to $5.66. What is happening here is AMC Theaters has given MovieCo these convertible notes. And MovieCo, at their discretion, can go ahead and exercise their convertible notes, basically turning these convertible notes into shares of AMC stock at $5.66. And they will likely do that at a value of $5.66. And they will likely do that when AMC's price is high enough over $5.66 for them to make more in exercising and selling those shares of stock than if they would let the entirety of the contract that they have with AMC, where AMC is paying them back with interest on their loan due 2029. They have to exceed that in profit probably by a decent percentage. I would say by at least 10%, 20%. Because you're going to make a set amount. AMC is going to pay you exactly this much if you let these convertible notes go through maturity before renewing. All right, do you understand? And if AMC pays continues to through 2029 with those convertible notes before paying them off, then MovieCo is going to make that set amount of money. But if AMC Theaters pays off those convertible notes early, then there will be less money for MovieCo to make in that sense. So they would just literally be making more if they were to exercise these convertible notes. So there's a fine line. There's a fine balance here that can't be told because we don't have all the information. Well, we do have some information here, some good information. We know that MovieCo gave AMC a certain amount for 2029 in loans. I don't know exactly what that is right now, but I'm sure we could look it up if people wanted to. And then they can calculate it by the percentage that is being paid in interest by AMC to the loan holder. And I believe it to be MovieCo, because MovieCo is the one with their election, the ability to redeem the outstanding exchangeable notes at the price equal to the aggregate principal amount of the exchangeable notes, plus the accrued and unpaid interest thereon, blah, blah, blah. Yep, and they have, this will occur on a business day of MovieCo's choosing, no more than 10 and not less than 5 business days after the date of the soft call notice. So they would be putting a soft call notice out there on this if they were to move forward with doing so. There are stipulations here that they can do so if the stock price exceeds 140% of the exchange price for 15 consecutive trading days. Does that mean what I think it means? Give me a moment while I think about this. This is more information. So if the shares of common stock exceeds 140% of the exchange price, and the exchange price was $5.66. I'm just working in theoretical possibilities here. I'm not saying that this is what's happening here, but I'm starting to work this out. So if AMC's price is over $7.93 for 15 consecutive trading days, ending on and including the trading day immediately before the date on which MovieCo sends a notice to holders calling exchangeable notes for redemption, any such notice will provide that the applicable redemption of the notes will occur on a business day of their choosing. Very interesting here. I like what I'm seeing. Gotcha. So they can exchange it at any point when it's above 566. They can exchange it below it as well, but that doesn't make any sense. They're not going to do that because MovieCo would then be losing money because they could just take the interest payments from AMC. But at any point over 566, probably when their profit exceeds the amount that they would receive by allowing the loan to go through maturity, MovieCo could exercise. So it might be at $5.80, might be at $5.90, it could be $6.20, who knows. But what this is saying, though, is through 2029, at any point preceding the final maturity date of the exchangeable notes, if the price is over $7.93 when the maturity date of the notes occurs, they have up to 15 more days to exercise as well, it looks like here. And they will be entitled within 2 business days of the soft call notice to submit their exchangeable notes for exchange under the terms. There's something here that I'm not missing because I'm missing because I don't have the rest of this. I'm gonna look it up on their website, and then I can put some more due diligence here and get back to you guys with that. Of course, everything that I'm doing right now is live. I'm not saying anything for sure as to what this means as to the 140% for the exchange price, but it appears as if they were paying it off, accepting the exchange price early, and that would be 140% more than the exchange price at $7.92 for 15 consecutive days, that they would have the option to do that, plus accrued and unpaid interest thereon too, but excluding the date of such the redemption of the daily VWAP. Okay. Yeah, definitely a convoluted situation to try to do all of the conceptual thought process here and the conceptual exercise based off of the limited one-page information I have. So I'm going to have to go back and do some more diligence on that. Thanks, Benson, for posting that up there, though, because that's definitely interesting. But I do need to tell you guys, Benson, my thoughts are that the MovieCo can exercise the exchangeable notes, and that would wipe off almost $500 million worth of debt from AMC in exchange for those shares that they would be exercising should they choose to do so. But it will not happen exactly at $5.60, and it will not happen automatically. MovieCo will have to elect to do so. And they will only do it, in my opinion, if they feel that they're going to make more in profit off of that than just letting the loan go through maturity. Or, of course, there's the possibility of them doing so in case if they think AMC is going to pay off the loan early, which is very possible. Where Uric says, well, boys and girls, I'm in the West Coast, and I did get the tsunami warning. I'm 5 minutes from the beach. Proud to say I was with my family out the door in under 5 minutes. What's amazing, though, is that when I get safe to high ground, I look at AMC, and it's running. If I didn't know any better, it started running at the same time as the earthquake. Crazy. All is well, and family is back home. God bless. God bless you, Uric. I'm glad to see that, my friend. Cheers, brother. All right, let's see. AMC still hanging out over $5.21 right now. And, of course, take a look at those two lines that I drew. As of now, it is still using both of those lines as a support level, and it almost appears to want to be using it as a channel. Whoops, didn't mean to move that. Now, of course, as the saying goes, when in doubt, zoom out. And I could do that as well. Let's go to the 1 day. Here's the minute candles on the 1 day chart. Let's go to the 5 day chart, see what she looks like. And we'll zoom you out a little bit. And we might be able to go out here even more. This goes back through 11/29. Let's go back to the 1 month chart. And here we go through 11/7, 11/6. We're looking basically at the daily chart from October through today. And if we take a line and doodle a little line here from previous support levels on the daily chart, one could potentially argue that that may be another support level. And if we zoom way out, look at 3 months on the daily. Look at how far back that line I just drew extends way back through as a support level, April of 2024. And even May of 2024, kind of indicating the bottoms that we saw back at the last run-up of AMC. Holy shit. If that's the case, this was some sort of a giant descending wedge pattern. And it's broken out through the flag. If that's the case. And I'm going to draw another line here. Let's use these two. I'm going to use the high of this date and then the high of this date. And there we have the channel that it could have been in right there. And if this is the case, if it remains in this channel here, that's the bottom line there, the bottom black line. Then it would reach a divergence possibly in March of 2025. But as of now, it's still moving along just fine. And seems to be following that along pretty well. We can draw another one, and I'm going to see what happens. Just for kicks, because that's charting. It's just speculation, you know. And there's a million ways to chart, a million different techniques. But I'm just going to stick to the basics right here and see what kind of patterns I'm able to see. But if we were to use that as a support level back in May, that is this red line here. And it is using it as a support level in October and straight through today. All right, that's interesting. I like what I see. And I can do this on GameStop, but it's the same fucking chart. So it's like, what's the point? Like, if you do it on one, you do it on both. It's the same fucking chart. If I hide the name, you can't even tell which stock it is. If I had you guess, without looking at the numbers, like the exact volume on a given day, you wouldn't know. The only reason I know that it's GameStop is because GameStop's volume's at 39 million right now, and AMC's volume was already higher today. It was already over 43 million earlier. Let's see what it's at now. It's at 46.15 million, so we're over 3 million, 3.5 million more volume now than we were, what, 25 minutes ago when we were talking about that at first. And again, there we go. AMC, GameStop, same fucking chart. Going back through, zoomed out too far. Going back through May, here we are. Let's see, I could draw the almost the exact same lines here as well. And the one-day chart here for GME. So we drew that earlier between here and here. It's broken down beneath that one line. Again, it's just an arbitrary line. I used the lows up here, the lows here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it break back above that because it broke below the resistance. Sorry, broke below the support, and now seems to be using it as resistance. And I wouldn't be surprised to see it turn around and jump back over that line or stay at its current point, because there's really not much of a difference there between that and that. It's really minimal. All right. Hey, Shannon says, thank you for explaining MovieCo on the $5.66 share option to convert notes. Makes perfect sense. I'm very glad. You're welcome, Shannon. I have been concerned about that because a lot of people have been asking me, oh, at 566, AMC wipes out the debt immediately. I'm like, yeah, they do, but it's not automatic. It's not exactly at 566. It's still bullish. Don't get me wrong. But there's this misconception that the moment that it happens that the convertible notes will be exercised, or exchanged, I should say, not exercised, exchanged. And that's not the case. They're not going to be automatically exchanged at all, and MovieCo can exchange them at their will. And they'll probably only do that once they're making more money off of exchanging and selling the stock than they would off of the interest off of the payment and the money that they loan to AMC. Hey, John Doe. Welcome, my friend. Welcome, Shannon. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate all you ladies and gentlemen. As Giles, you're right, my friend. They can't effing close their positions. If they closed, they would have already done that. They could have done that. They would have taken massive profits, and they would have been well on their way. But that has not happened. All right, my friends. Hey, in case you're unaware, you've been living under a rock, go check out litexchange.com. The link is in the description. It is an upcoming stock and crypto brokerage that is giving retail investors the opportunity to own the company instead of going directly to hedge funds, which is what companies like Robinhood and others have done. But we want to give retail investors the opportunity to own the stock instead of hedge funds. One day in the future, I will go to a VC firm that is retail friendly, not a hedge fund like Sequoia, for example. And we will work out a deal as needed. And that will be non-dilutionary to retail investors because we would only be giving a tiny percentage of our personal ownership in the company. I am a 70% owner of the company. My partner is 30% owner of the company. And if we do go to a VC firm, we would only be giving a minimal percentage, non-board seat, non-voting rights, percentage ownership of the company in exchange for significant amounts of funds. So no worries on that. And it would come out of our own percentage of ownership, not retail's. So there's no issues there and no worries about being diluted. All right, things are moving along nicely. GameStop's still holding that, basically that channel. And look, it's literally bouncing above and below that mark Like there is not a single candle. Like that candle is kind of touching it with its bottom base a little bit, but really it's not going through the middle of any single candle. So I have a feeling that, you know, for now, it's going to stay in that area as long as the volume keeps up. GameStop already approaching 40 million shares traded today. AMC approaching over 46 million shares traded today, with a put-call ratio of 0.20, which is extremely bullish. Anything below 1.0 is a bullish outlook. And the put-to-call ratio is 0.2. And the lower that number is, the smaller that number is, the higher the bullishness on the stock. Now let's take a look at GameStop's. GME's put-call ratio is 0.18. So almost the exact same amounts as AMC. Really, the difference between 0.2 and 0.18 is damn near nothing. You know, it's almost the exact same percentage skew to the call side, which is very bullish, than it is to the put side. Whiskey Biscuits got 30 puts. Good luck to you, my friend. What's the options chain look like? Well, let's take a peek and see what the chain looks like. But there are many ways to do that. I can't do that here on this dashboard, but I can pop into the stock and do that for you, and then I'll pull up the chain here as well. Time 69,420. Let's see what's going on in Twitter land, in the Xverse, I should say, while I get my other screen going. Yeah, like Peter says, I think AMC Gamestop margin calls at 2 p.m. today. 2 p.m. Eastern. 2 p.m.'s gone. Nice, my guy. Let me see what you got, Steve. Let me see what you got. Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. 130,000 shares. Legend. No wonder. Company. Oh, 130,420.69 shares. Yeah, no wonder shorts are so scared to let this companies move upwards, huh? Well, people got share hunts like that. And does anybody think it's odd that Bitcoin price comes down from 103,500 to 98,600 on the movement of AMC and GameStop? Does anybody find that odd? Because even here earlier, when the information came out, it was at 103,000. Then Kitty tweets when it was at 102,000 or so, and now it's at 98.6. Is the liquidity being drawn from Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in order to prevent themselves from going under? Very possible. Very possible. Not entirely surprised, but a correction in Bitcoin was needed from the movement from 98 to 103, which was incredibly quick, in my opinion. Let's look at the options analysis. Options contracts expiring tomorrow. At the $30 strike, there are 18,000 calls that expire at $30. Of course, GameStop at 28.63. Let me move this down for you just a bit. So you know that market makers are going to do their damnedest to make sure it stays under 28 today, because there's also 7,300 more contracts in the money at 28, which is not a whole lot, but it could definitely cause some gamma. And oh, look, the 2850 also is at 2,084 open interest contracts, call contracts held there. $29. Another 6,600 more calls there. 2,600 more at $29.50. And 18,100 at the $30 mark. Okay. It doesn't even have to go up that much. So if GameStop goes up 5%, it would be at the $30 mark, and 18,000 calls would be in the money. Expiring tomorrow, not mind you, expiring tomorrow. Let's look at next week. 5,900 more. Hey, welcome to the channel, Kumar. Hey, thanks very much for joining, my friend. Appreciate you. You know what? Let's look at the monthlies here for January 17th instead of these weeklies. I wanted to see what this Friday's was. Well, let's take a look at the monthlies for... Well, maybe we should look at December as well as January. That makes perfect sense. For those that don't know, monthlies are the third week of the month. Those are the main options contracts. And then the weeklies are everything in between. Every other Friday in between, and Wednesday if you're trading things like the VIX and shit like that. Which are European exercise contracts. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about that right now. That doesn't matter. Looking at December 20th, at the $30 strike, there are 14,288 GameStop calls open interest. 14,000. So being over 30 by December 20th would be an absolute nightmare for shorts. And this would, without a doubt, in my opinion, without a shadow of a doubt, if GameStop is over 30 bucks, you know, the day before December 20th, we are going to see a massive gamma ramp, and I think 40 could be in the rearview mirror before people know it. But again, looking at AMC now, as I said, that would be GameStop going up by 5% from 2860 to 300, and if AMC were to go up by 5%. That would put us at 546 from the current prices. So let's say it went up 6%. That's 551. Let's take a look at the 551 strike, the $5.50 strike for AMC. So there's 28,845 calls open interest expiring tomorrow at the $5 mark, and another 19,432 at the $5.50 mark if AMC were to go up basically 6% from where it's at right now, which is absolutely monster. And the bid ask right now is between 522 and 24, so I'd say the price has got to be at 523 at the moment. 46,321,000 volume. The put call ratio is incredibly bullish at 0.2. And we have $5. We have 28,845 contracts in the money expiring tomorrow. That contract is up $17 today, basically 17 cents. So it was like 8 cents yesterday. Now those things are going for 24 cents. So that's basically about $24 for those of you that don't know, which is an incredibly good move. That's like a 300% move on the December strike expiring tomorrow on those contracts. Take a look at the December and January for the 5 and 550 strikes for Amy. And we're looking at, let's go to December. $5 strike for December, expiring December 20th. There's 40,206. 206. Yeah, King Louis says open interest is bigger on the 20th on Amy. Absolutely right it is. Same for GameStop, you know. 6% out of the money from the current standing point for AMC and GameStop. There are tens of thousands of call contracts. Sorry, and those are in the money right now. In basically 2 weeks. 2 weeks. MOAS, 2 weeks. December 20th at 550 for AMC. That's another 15,265. And at the $6 strike, there's 48,593 at the $6 strike. Holy shit. There's a huge, huge possibility for significant gains there via a gamma ramp, via FOMO buying by retail, via market maker and hedge fund and family office delta hedging their current positions against their shorts. But again, remember, a market maker does not have to hedge. They can elect not to hedge if they've got enough collateral not to have to do so. But if we were to go over 550 and stay that way, there's a possibility that we could see, you know, $6, $7, $10 in the rear view mirror with the quickness. Open interest for AMC for January, there's 15.6 thousand at the $5 mark, 2.2 thousand at the 550, 6,446 at the $7 mark, and another 22.5 thousand at the $10 mark, 30,888 at the 15, and another 42.3 thousand at the $20 mark. If that were to happen, that would be a nightmare for shorts. Absolute nightmare. Where's Wolfie? Yeah, my guy Wolfie was here just a little bit ago. Unlimited Foxes. I want my fucking money. Cheers, my friend. And I'm not leaving until I get it. That is for damn sure. GME hanging tight, 28.63. We are in the after hours now. GME is up another 12 cents at 28.75. And of course, markets are down. S&P 500 down negative 0.19%, which isn't a huge move. But AMC and GameStop almost always follow the market. And you know when they're not following the market, when they're not following the SPY and the Russell 1000, and they're not following Bitcoin, that something big is happening. Something serious is occurring. And this may be a little blip. It may be a little hiccup. So far, it seems to be the case. But until there's a good possibility that we see a breakout at any moment, and the majority of times that AMC and GameStop move, the majority of times that the market moves in general are in the after hours and while the market's closed and in the pre-market. So yeah, huge news overall. What's going on, Paul P? Welcome back, my friend. Hakan says Santa's coming early this year. Raj, you know I'm on it, my friend. You know I'm on it. Cheers, Popular. Glad to see you make some profits. Congratulations, my friend. All right, folks. I've got business to attend to with Lit Exchange. I will see you tomorrow. And if anything crazy happens, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and got that little button, the little bell icon selected. Because if anything crazy happens, you know I'll be back with an overnight stream. Cheers, my friends. You never know when I'm going to go live. It's my favorite thing. It's one of my favorite hobbies. You know, snowboarding, fishing, live streams, and saying we're going to be so fucking rich. Because pretty soon we'll be saying, I fucking told you so. Until that day, I'm going to enjoy the journey, my friends. Life is about the journey, not the destination. Cheers, Tyler. Thanks so much for everything, brother. Appreciate you guys.